Hi, everybody. It's me, Leo Brown, and we are back once again with another edition of Let's Talk About It Tuesday. I hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful beginning of the week thus far, the second day of the week. And I wanted to come on here and tell you thank you for liking, for sharing, for commenting, for most of all subscribing, hit the notification bell, and most of all, be sure to leave your comments. Okay, so let's get into it. So we're here to talk about Shakira, Jlo, the Super Bowl performances, I should say, that they did, and we're going to talk about Terry Crews. So I'm going to start with the Super Bowl first. Now, I'll be the first one to tell you. I took a knee. I've been taking a knee ever since Mr. Kaepernick took one. And by the way, he took a knee against police brutality. Okay, not because of not in a unpatriotic or un-American way. It was against police brutality. For those who don't know. So I took a knee. I did not watch the game, even though I'm happy that the Chiefs won. The Kansas City, Missouri Chiefs. I believe I'm correct. I'm happy that they won. And, I think that's great. And that's great for their local economy. Now, as far as the Super Bowl performance, I thought it was fantastic. I thought the one who stood out to me the most was Shakira. And I've been a fan of Shakira. And I have to say her name like that. I've been a fan of hers since Ojo Safi, back in like the late mid '90s. So I've been a fan of hers, her Spanish language stuff first before she crossed over and she released a laundry service in 2001, I believe. But I'm a huge fan of her, and I thought she did an excellent job with the dancing and just everything. I thought it was fantastic. I loved about her performance the most was that she combined world elements. She combined everything from um, Arabic culture because she is half Lebanese and Colombian, and she also combined African culture, which I loved. I love the fact that she did that because it shows that Latinos, like Black people, we all come in different shapes, sizes, and shades, and we all share a common ancestor. We all have African roots connected to us. Though a lot of us want to deny it on both sides, we are. The only difference, I think, between Blacks and Latinos, in my opinion, and this is my opinion, and you're free to disagree, is a boat stop in a language. Okay? So I thought that was fantastic. Now, I will give this. I'm gonna go move on to J Lo. I think J Lo did a great job too. But J Lo's performance was very Las Vegas, very showgirl. Like you can definitely tell that J Lo was a Leo because it was all about Jennifer Lopez, baby. Jennifer Lydia Lopez. It was all about her. And I thought she did a fantastic job. Now I will give her this. Do I think that J Lo is the best singer in the world? No, I don't. Am I a fan of her music? I am. I think she's a great entertainer. I think she can dance her loving natural ass off, and I thought it was awesome. So I thought she did a fantastic job, and it was wonderful to see towards the end of the performance where she had her little girl out there, and they had the kids and the Puerto Rican flag, and like I just and even though I am not of Latino descent that I know of, it made me proud. It really did because I was like, look at that. You're showing every aspect of Latino culture, everything from the African aspect of it to salsa, merengue, the poppy version, the rock version. You put in a little bit of Arabic flavor in there. Like it was just I loved it. It was really inspiring. And I think they both did a great job. And you could both tell that they both were doing it not just for Latinos, but to show the world, like, listen, this is where you come from. You come from a melting pot. And I also loved towards the end where both women got together and just did it, like did the damn thing in sisterhood. And that was another thing that I loved. I loved these symbols of femininity. Like for me, it made me think of Oshun and Jemaja. It made me think of those two deities coming together as sisters. and making it work because you had, I believe, J-Lo had on silver and Shakira had on gold towards the end. And for me, just a symbol of that, the male and female, the balance, sun and moon, just seeing that. Like I read into things from a very symbolic place at times. So I thought it was a fantastic performance. It was very inspiring. I actually watched it twice because I wanted to make sure I saw everything. But but I will say this. I think like I said, with J Lo, it was very much what you would see at her concerts. But she did a damn good job. She did a damn thing. And I'm also going to say this too. As a person who is nearing 40, as a person who's getting older, like everybody else on this plane, it was inspiring for me because I was like, you know what, you can still do it. There's still life to live. It's not done. Because I think that's one thing that and I will admit this, I struggle with, is I don't struggle with getting older per se, but I struggle with more so like the quality of life changing. And that's one thing I'm actually going to talk about very soon. I'm going to talk about aging. But I loved it. I thought it was fantastic, and I applaud both of them. They did a fantastic job. It was great. It was very inspiring. And for those of y'all that are complaining and saying that it was inappropriate, okay, we've seen Madonna, we've seen Beyonce, we've seen Adam Levine shirtless with his non-singing self. We've seen, like, what are you? Listen, you're just mad because they are. Let's call it what it really is. It wasn't inappropriate. It's the fact that they are brown women, women of color, women of African and Latino and Taino descent. Okay, on your TV stream, on your TV screens, and it irritates you. You racist motherfuckers. Yeah. Okay? So let's stop it. Let's stop it with the madness. You're just mad because you have two women of color doing the goddamn thing and showing you that the world is made up of people of color and it will always be that way. And that guess what? They're becoming the majority, whether you like it or not. All right? So deal with it, Karens of the world. Deal with it. You can speak to your manager later. Now, let's move on to Terry Crews with his ashy self. All right, so if you guys have been following the story, so Terry Crews, Gabrielle Union, and America's Got Talent. So Gabrielle Union, as we all know, if you've been following the news, she got let go from America's Got Talent, and she basically called them out and was like, "No, you have a lot of issues when it comes to race." And this is not only from Gabrielle's perspective, this is from Orlando Jones. If you don't know who Orlando is, if you watch the series American Gods, he played the African god Inansi, or Inansi. I think I'm saying it correct, or if I'm saying it wrong, please correct me, people. Which he did a fantastic job. And I've been a follower of Mr. Jones since Mad TV. But he got fired from his job. And apparently the same person who runs over American Gods deals with American Got Talent. And so here comes Terry Crews with his ashy ass saying, "Oh, well, I had no problems. I didn't experience that. I didn't deal with racism. Everyone was fun-loving, at America's Got Talent for me." Now, here's the thing. I'm a fan of Terry Crews. I'll be the first one to tell you. I think Terry Crews is fine. I'll be the first one. I'm just gonna be very frank. I would fuck the shit out of Terry Crews. Okay, I'm gonna be real. I would, but I'm gonna say this. I think it speaks volumes. With that being, all that aside, I think it speaks volumes on how as not only Black people but people of color, we will cape for our men, but we literally will let our women go. And that's what this whole thing is about. Is how, you have white women like Deborah Messing, Ellen Pompano, I think is her name, from Grey's Anatomy, coming to Gabrielle's defense and saying, no, there are some issues with America's Got Talent. She was a victim of racism and discrimination. This is not fair. You have white women coming for her, but when it came to Black men, it's like radio silence. And it speaks volumes on how We will cape for our man, like, because that's the only thing we got. We got to have a black man, That whole, you need a man mentality, which I'm going to talk about that shit too. But when it comes to women, it's like, well, she's on her own. Or that wasn't my experience. I don't know about her. Here's the thing. And what gets me about this now is that Terry basically said, I think a couple of weeks ago, he was like, the only person I really stand for is my wife. I'm paraphrasing, but that's pretty much what he said. Like, fuck my mama, my daughter, whatever. Fuck all them. The only person I'm standing for is my wife, which is Rebecca. You mean your dom? Okay, that's what you mean, Terry? Your dom? Your dominatrix? Okay. All right. But it's like, so you mean to tell me if this was your daughter or your mother or your aunt, you wouldn't rally behind her and say, listen, granted, that wasn't my experience, but I stand with my friend. And then later he came back and he apologized. But that's only after he received a lot of backlash from, guess who? Black women. And you can't blame women, let's not even make it a black thing, but you can't blame women rallying together when it comes to other women. Even when it comes to, but I'm kind of diverting the subject, but even when it comes to the movie The Bombshell about the Fox News, Roger Ailes, the founder of Fox News, and his harassment claims and all of that. It doesn't matter that these were white women. What matters is these were women who were in a sexist, misogynist, hostile, discriminatory environment. Okay? And it's like, why would we not, as a man, like, this is what it means to me to be a feminist. Why would we, as men, not stand up for the rights of women? Because I look at it this way: what if that was my mother, or my sister, or my aunt, or my grandmother, may she rest, or my friends? Like, I have a lot of women friends. So when Terry Crews is like, how dare you backpedal, basically. You backpedal, I'm not gonna, but you backpedaled and, I apologize, but I support her now. Well, it's too late now. The damage is done. And I don't blame Gabrielle Union for being open and vocal and saying, no, player, no. You get no love from me. I gives no fucks. You've already said what you wanted to say. You're only saying it because of the backlash you're receiving. So this is more so about you and your career than anything else. Because the thing about Terry Crews that I've noticed, and like I said, Terry Crews would be a good lady. That's all he would be for me. Now, Terry Crews really wants to portray, I'm the nicest person in the world. I am so nice. Everybody loves me. I'm a big cuddly bear of a man. When we all know for a fact, people like that who portray that image are really the meanest, most cutthroat sons of bitches you ever met in your life. So I think when it comes to Terry Crews, he has a lot of growing to do. I think he really needs to understand what misogyny means. He needs to understand what support means, and he needs to understand what discrimination means. But here's the thing, though. Here's another thing that I want to say. When you came out with your allegations against this producer, the name escapes me, but the producer who fondled you at a party, not once but twice, and you did nothing about it. Who were the first people to rally behind you? It wasn't men, because men were like, well, wait a minute, you're Terry goddamn Crews. You could have like punched him in the face. But who was it that had your back? It was black women. And one of those black women was Gabrielle Union. So why would you not give her the respect, the same courtesy that she gave you? Because she didn't have to do anything. She could have said nothing, but she chose not to. So I would really caution Mr. Crews to think and to support those who need his support. You work on America's Got Talent. You know what the deal is. You just don't want to lose that check. Say that. Just say, listen, I want to keep my money. I want to keep my status in Hollywood, in the entertainment business. I don't want to lose that. Just say that. No problem. So, and my thing is, how would you allow, or how could you allow a man to openly molest you not once but twice, and you did nothing? That's suspect to me, sis. I'm just saying. But tell your Dom I said hi. Anywho, that's enough of me rambling. Those are my thoughts on it. But I want to know, what are your thoughts? What do you think of the Super Bowl performance with my girl Shakira and Jennifer Lopez? What do you think about the whole Terry Crews versus Gabrielle Union debacle? What are your thoughts? Leave them below. I thank you guys so much for watching, for commenting, for subscribing, for sharing. And I will see you again next Tuesday when we talk about America's favorite auntie, Miss Monique. I will see you soon. Have a good one. Bye-bye.